On this episode of Shooters, I'll be speaking with a good friend of mine, Jeremy Baccash. Jeremy's been a photographer for a long time now. He's been living in the Milwaukee area, so we talk about the things that are currently happening in Milwaukee. We talk about anything from health to where he gets inspiration from, how he stays up to date on the newest trends and things within photography and within Lightroom, to be more specific. Throughout this video podcast, I'll be flashing up photos that he's shot throughout the years. It's kind of funny. Jeremy is an interesting person, and on the day-to-day, I wonder what's running through his mind. So yeah, without further ado, here's the first episode of Shooters with Jeremy Baccash.
But I don't need therapy either. I don't know why we're doing this. No, and that's when I broke my pinky toe. It's fucking freezing outside. I almost lost my finger. I think this does look like the set of the casting couch. I've been sleeping with two eyes open ever since. Hands are sweaty. And that's when Mello just fucking shit everywhere, dude. Jared's an asshole. I don't do Black Friday shopping. Next thing I know, I wake up in the alleyway with half a bottle of UV blue next to me. It all started when I was 5 years old at the driving range. I sliced the shit out of the ball, hit the divider, bounced back, hit me in the eye. And I started looking at everything with one eye closed.
All right, Shooters.
Episode
Uno, dos. We on the first. All right.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
How you feeling?
I'm a little nervous.
Take your shoes off. That kind of helped me. I just took mine off. Feel great.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that.
Pants on.
You know?
You taking them off?
Yeah.
Nice. What's up? Just snowed today for the first time, kind of. You should make everyone take their shoes off for these.
I might. That might be like a requirement.
Yeah. I think it could be good.
You want to hang out? Take your shoes off. Make sure you wash your feet before you show
Bring
up.
some slippers as a gift for everyone.
Ugh. Damn, that is nice. Oh, I feel good.
Yeah, doesn't that feel a lot better?
Yeah. I feel like I'm about to, sit down and watch some Netflix.
Mm-hmm. You could just do that instead.
So anyways,
let's get into it.
What are around the city? What's like some of the newer, like the newer favorite spots that like you like to actually shoot at?
Like ones that I've just discovered or ones that have gone up?
One, either or, whatever.
Let's see, newly discovered spots. Shooting, my cousin has a pontoon boat, and shooting like up and down the river and then actually like going out on the lake is really fun if you haven't done that.
Yeah.
It's such a different like perspective of the city, especially when you're coming down the river. Because you can be on the river walk and still like somewhat get that, but out of being like on the river,
yeah, it gives you a whole different perspective.
You just look at it, just looks like a completely different city almost.
I was actually thinking about that just today when I was walking to work because, like you said, winter just came and the river's it's starting to freeze over, and I was like, man, it'd be cool to get down there and actually shoot, from the center.
Kayaking up the river is pretty fun too. I did that one time, and I was with this guy, John. It's kind of, but he was getting into his kayak and he completely fell in as he was getting into it. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. And I was bringing my camera with me, and it like
scared the shit out of you.
It scared the fucking shit out of me. I still brought it with, which probably wasn't the smartest idea, but it was pretty calm that night. But it was just hilarious seeing this guy fall into the river as he's trying to get in his kayak, a dirty ass river. Did you know they did some swim thing in the river, or they were supposed to?
No, what was
that? It was
that?
for charity or something, or it was to like raise awareness for how dirty the river is or something.
Yeah, good idea.
But they were going to swim a mile up the river. I don't know if it ever happened. I think Marley was telling me about that.
Yeah, sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah.
That river is...
Catch some sort of disease.
It's one thing. I mean, it's gotten better. Because before I wouldn't even want to kayak in that river.
Fuck.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still don't want to get in the water yet, but I mean, they definitely are making moves to make it cleaner and cleaner.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate very, very much.
Yeah. But back to other spots to shoot around. I moved into the Blatz. That's a great view from over there, too. You kind of get a great 180, like facing south of the city, which is cool. And then if we're talking about cliche spots, I still think one of my favorite places to shoot in the city is the art museum.
Yeah, super
I don't know
cliche,
how you feel about
great.
that, but
no, it's great.
Yeah, every time I get in there, I try and just look at something from a different perspective and try and get
a shot that no one's got.
Yeah,
or
that's always
something,
my
you know what I mean?
challenge going in there is like, all right, what haven't I seen before?
Mm-hmm.
But I still love that play. Even on the inside of it, if you overexpose and you get that like really bright white look, there's something about that I just absolutely love.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like just with everything being white, you don't have to, jack up your ISO and whatnot, and you can kind of have full control over what you want to do in there, which is nice.
Yeah. So, what is for you a typical, maybe not typical, non-typical experience of you, like kind of going out and shooting? Like what do you bring? Like what's your what you know what I mean? Like
what I personally like doing, I know a lot of people like to shoot together in groups, and we were talking about this the other night actually, where I am one of those people, I don't like shooting with anybody, or if I do, I just like shooting with one other person. One, I think it's annoying to, if you're shooting and then you have someone come up with you, or you think they're like taking your shot, or you think they're taking their shot, or they think you're taking your shot,
or you're jealous of what lens they're using.
Yeah, it's just kind of like it's just something I don't enjoy doing. I don't really like sitting around waiting for other people. You know what I mean? I don't like feeling rushed either, because sometimes you need to set up for a couple minutes to get, whether it's like you need a bus to come by, or you need someone to walk through, like past the tunnel, or you need whatever it is. I just don't like feeling rushed when I'm doing that.
Yeah, we actually rolled into Chicago the other night.
Mm-hmm.
We took the Amtrak in, which was my first time on the Amtrak.
Shout out to the Amtrak.
Shout out to the Amtrak. It was great. It was honestly amazing.
And we sat in the quiet car. I'd never sat in the quiet car. That was the first time, and those seats were very nice. Much nicer than the other part.
And he brought his Switch, which was my first experience with the Switch as well.
We played Mario Kart on the way down there.
Yeah. But yeah, like showing up, like literally, if any of you haven't taken the Amtrak, I highly advise it, because you literally, it's $25. You hop on right here in Milwaukee, and it's like an hour and a half.
Yeah, I think a little less than an hour and a half.
It's super quick, no traffic.
Mm-hmm. Stops like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, especially if you're shooting. I mean, go there early in the morning, bring your camera bag, walk around the city, and then cruise back. It's like the perfect thing.
There's so much to explore down there. It's just so big.
We literally got out of the Amtrak station, and we were just in it, and I was like, I've been to Chicago a ton, and I've never had that experience, because you're usually driving in, and we were playing Switch the whole time, so we weren't paying attention to what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And we show up, and I'm like, all of a sudden we're in the city. Like, when you drive in from Milwaukee, when you're driving down, you see the city there, so it's kind of like this slow progression of, okay, I'm in the city. But like being on a train, and like being, you come in and you're literally in a tunnel. You walk outside, and you're like, you just look straight up, and you're like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's breathtaking.
Yeah, it's crazy. And this goes the same with flights too, but it's crazy where you hop on a train, you hop on a plane, a couple hours later, you're just in a completely different world.
Yeah.
Blows my mind.
Yeah. And, so we anyways, kind of tailing back. I got a little off topic.
The Amtrak's an exciting experience.
Yeah, it makes me...
I black out every time I get on there.
Yeah, even when I'm talking about it. But
back to my process going out shooting, kind of like I said, a lot of times I like to go out by myself or with one other person. Usually when I go out, I most of the time just stick to one lens. Sometimes I'll bring another one, but when I go out, I go on a mission where it's like, all right, I'm gonna bring this lens. Whether it's like, say you're going out with a fisheye lens, where your goal is to like, all right, I'm gonna get right up on these buildings and get these wide shots. That's kind of what you do the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like with a fisheye, it doesn't really work. Shooting like an entire skyline from on the top.
Yeah, and that's what also makes it difficult when you're shooting with somebody else. Like if you have completely different lenses, it's like you don't want to be in this, like, I can't shoot the same area that you're shooting or from the same area, because I need to get all up in it, and then I'm in your shots, and then it's like, but keep going.
Yeah, so usually I'll only take out 1 or 2 lenses to go shoot around with. And I honestly just like to, depending on like, whether it's night, whether it's daytime, that kind of depends, the type of shots you're getting. So like, for instance, for nighttime, if I go out shooting at night, I like to go into areas that, are pretty well lit. Lately, I haven't really been bringing out a tripod when I shoot at night, but I always think shooting at night, it's like I said, if you're on a mission, like if you bring a tripod out, I'm probably going to be doing all long exposure stuff the entire night. But yeah, if I'm shooting at night, I like to go to a well-lit place. I'm a big fan of having like a one-directional lighting kind of light up the subject. So a lot of the times I'll kind of camp out, near a light and just wait for someone to walk under it. Or if I'm with someone, hey, go walk ahead of me. I want to catch you going under that light. That's something else I feel like I do a lot too. That's like part of my process is like setting up in one area just to get that one shot I'm looking for. Like there's, like I said, a lot of times where you need a car or a person to go, into a certain area to get that shot that you're looking for, or you need a bus to go by, or you need, something specific to happen. I've always been a big fan of like sitting there and camping until, you feel like you have that right shot. Because I don't know, I kind of like to just kind of let things happen too. And I say go out on a mission with a certain lens, like, yeah, I'm going to stick to this lens, but I kind of just let things happen, whether like you never know, what you're going to walk up on, or like what song is going to influence you to start thinking differently, or like say you're out shooting and then all of a sudden clouds start going over the sun, you get these dope ass sun rays kind of beaming down. Yeah, so you just kind of never know, and I feel like that's a fun way to go out and shoot.
Let's talk about the city of Milwaukee.
City of Milwaukee?
Yeah.
It's a great time to be living in Milwaukee.
Yeah, besides the snow.
Yeah, it did snow today. It's kind of nice, though, seeing the snow. It's going to suck for walking around, but yeah, it's kind of nice getting that first little dusting.
Yeah, I actually was I was out in Racine last night at the ladies' folks for the first time, and we got trapped there. Yeah. So I slept over and...
You sleep in the same bed?
Slept on like a weird couch. Like...
My parents wouldn't let me sleep with the same girl or with a girl in their house. I have to be married.
What did it ever happen where you showed up and the parents were like, this ain't happening, or you just knew?
I just kind of knew from the jump. It was a conversation before she would get there, and usually, I don't know, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but
we can take it all out if we need to.
I would usually go sleep in the same bed with them and set an alarm for 4 o'clock and then just move.
But they don't know, can't hurt them,
Right. They probably knew something was going down, but they didn't want to embarrass their son.
Yeah.
I actually had it where the first time I slept at a girl's parents' house, her mom was just completely fine with me sleeping in the same bed. She went and made it before we even went up there. It was kind of weird, to be honest with you, just because I'm used to...
Yeah, the mother setting the scene.
The mother was...
Did she light some candles?
Scene. Yeah. I think the mother had a crush on me, to be honest with you, so she was probably just imagining what was about to go down.
Yeah, she had a camera in the corner or something.
Probably. That's kind of disgusting now you say it like that.
Setting the scene. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah. But yeah, Milwaukee, it's a great time to be here, I think. There's a lot going on. I think for what we're doing, this is literally the perfect fucking time for us to be doing what we're doing. Yeah,
the city has definitely, developed a bunch. A lot of new, cool things are happening, within blocks of us. We're right down here in the center of Milwaukee, right on Water Street.
But yeah, to the Third Ward, to Walker's Point. They got the Bucks Center right on the Pfizer Forum right on the other side of us.
Yeah, tons of new music coming in, which is awesome. Yeah, it's kind of a funny thing. Like, I tell people how awesome Milwaukee is. People, I have a lot of friends from all over who've never been here, and they finally show up in Milwaukee, and they're like, where are the cows? Or, we didn't expect to actually have it be a city. And
Everyone
I was like,
just
yeah,
assumes,
man.
Yeah, it's cheese, brats, and cows everywhere.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, it's not like that at all. And they come here, and they're like, I get it. This place is fucking awesome.
They should put a little petting zoo in the middle of the city down here.
Yeah. Some cows.
Yeah. Milk some cows. You can go pay to milk some cows. Get your own milk, fresh milk from them.
Yeah.
I would do that. Have you ever milked a cow?
Oh, no, I have, yeah.
I did when I was on a field trip. Yeah,
field trip. I think everyone does.
It's super weird.
You're like...
Like just grabbing a super limp, skinny dick is what
it's
like.
Yeah, and you're like,
Yeah.
Whatever.
I feel like the cow's going to bite me the whole time.
I don't know why they think we need to go do that
as kids, yeah. I don't get it either.
Teach us the ways, I guess.
Another thing I've noticed about Milwaukee, too, is it keeps popping up on all those, best city lists to go visit. I've been seeing a lot of those.
Yeah, we made the top 100.
Yeah.
Which is Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of sucks
in the world.
Yeah.
That wasn't
in the world?
That was top 100 in the world. Don't quote me on that.
I
But
was
yeah,
gonna
I'm pretty
say,
sure.
yeah, that's
I'm almost
interesting,
positive.
I think you are right. I do
Because
feel like
it's definitely the top 100 in the U.S.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
for sure.
I think in the world.
Yeah.
It's like 98. We just scraped in there, you know?
That's kind of crazy. Like I was talking at that Harley thing the other day. They have the ice races that go on down there. What else they do? They got that little Chris Kindle market out there now by the Bradley Center or the Pfizer Forum.
Mm-hmm.
There's ice skating. Have
Polar
you ever been
Plunge.
Ice skating over here?
Polar Plunge.
Polar Plunge. Have you done one of those?
I've done.
I'd never do one of those.
I've done 2 of them.
I feel like I'd be cold for weeks.
Yeah, you just the secret is, I don't know how people who don't drink do it, but the secret is, you know, you meet up somewhere because you jump in at noon, so you just meet up somewhere and you drink a little bit and you get, you know, a little warmed up.
I'd
Drink
have
a
to
little.
be so shit faced to do that.
Yeah, and you just, I mean, it's honestly, it's like when you get hurt or something, you know, like you have all this adrenaline going. It's kind of the same thing. You like get hyped up and you're like, all right, boom, and then like it's like hits you like the cold, and then you have this adrenaline going. You're like, fuck it, and you just beeline. You jump in, and literally like I can only explain it as like you like black out. Like I barely remember doing it, but like you definitely did it. But yeah, it's like you like literally from the time back, I was like, I don't even remember jumping in, like because there's just so much adrenaline going. I mean, I would say anyone should do it. Honestly, you gotta do it once.
Good. Yeah, I'm good. That's one of those things I don't want to do once. I just have no desire. Could care less. If it's for a charity, I still don't give a shit. I just don't want to do it.
Yeah. I mean, another great thing about the city is, you know, it's with everything new coming up, the new stadium and everything. It's definitely very fun. It's a fun time to be shooting in Milwaukee. Lots of new stuff going on. A lot of other people shooting, which is, you know, which is great. A lot of fun from that. And it's funny. A lot of people who come here, they don't know that it's this big city and we're actually like right on a lake, and we have all these amazing beaches and, you know, lakefront views and everything. They're like, and they come in, they're like, I thought that was a lake. It looks like an ocean. And I'm like, I know, it's massive. I was like, people actually surf this. And they're like, really? Yeah.
Have you ever done that surfing?
Yeah, I've surfed up in
the cold.
It's the best waves are in the cold.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that you'll see out there when it gets real fucking windy out there in their little bodysuits.
Yeah.
How do you keep your feet warm? Are your feet covered?
Yeah, you have like literally you have like
a full bodysuit.
You have like a full wetsuit, and you have like they have different thicknesses.
Yeah.
And you have like a winter suit.
Yeah.
And if it's really cold, you have like you can put one that goes over your head too. Oof. So it's honestly like when you're in there and you have that, you have the right gear. It's warm.
Really?
It's really warm.
Oh,
you're not cold.
Damn.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's the first time I ever stood up surfing. Was on Lake Michigan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, up in Port Washington.
Oh, nice.
Surfing's not easy. I suck at it, but
I did it once in San Diego.
You didn't stand up, I guarantee it.
I stood up one time.
And you're lying.
He's lying. For like 10 seconds, I stood up.
Yeah, the first time I ever surfed, I was in Orlando, New Smyrna Beach, shark bite capital of the world.
Really?
Yeah, little sharks though. But yeah, it was super choppy, super big, and the one time I almost stood up, like catching an actual wave. I don't really know how waves break or anything, so I was just like on it, and like right when I went to stand up, it was breaking, and it literally just smashed me so hard. And then I get up, and then like as soon as I caught it, I was like, and then boom, another wave smashed me. It was bad. It was fucking bad. And I was like, I ain't doing this again.
I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good on that.
Yeah.
The ocean's no joke, dude.
So what music are you know, what music kind of going through your headphones lately?
I'm honestly all over the place, to be honest with you. I usually build like one master playlist, and I just put that thing on shuffle, and that has music from like the 1920s. It's got this new hood ass rap on it. It's got you know, Billy Joel, Frank Sinatra, Tom Petty. Something else I've really been into lately, which if you don't listen to this type of music, I highly recommend it. And I don't even know what it's technically called, but it's Spanish music. It's
Latin?
I wouldn't even call it Latin, because I feel like Latin is more a little like high class. This is like a mixture between like mariachi bands and I don't even know how to describe it, but it's
Can you bring something up from here?
Yeah. Well, I will up too. I'm gonna put on Bayame. Bye. I mean,
So if I see you walk around the city, this, and you're nodding your head, this is probably what's going through, huh?
Yeah.
On repeat?
Yeah. And this actually, if you need music to kind of pump you up and put a lot of energy in you.
Wow. All right, I see it. You know, to each their own.
So I don't know.
I'm not hating on it, but
What'd you say?
I said to each their own.
Yeah, to each
I'm not
their
hating
own,
on
definitely.
it.
But I would definitely recommend. I have this playlist put together called Spanish Joints. I can share with you if you have Spotify. So yeah, I really just kind of put random music on and just kind of let it, see what happens. I feel like music really can be a great inspiration, especially if you're shooting video. I've come up with like a lot of random concepts just from hearing, a specific song, and just kind of takes you in a certain direction.
Where else do you kind of pull inspiration from?
I honestly think one of the greatest tools out there that a lot of people probably don't use it for is Instagram. Like, I follow so many people, so many companies, so many different, motivational speakers on Instagram. And I probably have close to like 1,000 photos or videos saved on there. And I try to break them up into different, like when I have, specifically for Social Candy ones, like photography concepts. But I think a lot of people, Instagram's very underutilized with a lot of people, especially like creatives. It's not just for seeing, what people are doing and this and that, but you can just get so many good ideas from anywhere on it. Even the sponsored posts. I get so many good sponsored posts on there that I'm saving. But I like it too because it's a cool way to kind of get into someone's head and see kind of how they're thinking. Like going through someone's page, you can kind of tell like what type of person they are.
I mean, artists everywhere are, they're looking for inspiration, and they find it in all different ways. If they want to admit it or not, that's one thing. But I mean, if you're true to yourself, I mean, everything's bit a little bit, you know what I mean, and then spun off and done your own way.
Yeah, exactly.
So
which I think is a great way to come up with new content. It gets you thinking differently, especially if you ever have a creative roadblock. Just go take a while, just start scrolling through it, find a different hashtag. It doesn't necessarily have to be exactly what if you're a photographer, just go scroll through different paintings or different, whatever.
Yeah, like when I'm looking at, I mean, this is just generalizing, but, I'm seeing, following a hashtag, and you're following like, Milwaukee photographers or something, and you see a lot of what people are shooting in your city, and you get inspiration, and you're like, I never even like thought about looking at that like that before. And then you think of like, I want to go shoot something like that, but I'm going to do it on a different building, or,
Exactly.
I mean, just the angle, it's a cool way to, get inspiration and kind of keep growing as a photographer or creator.
And even like you said, the Milwaukee hashtag, like even just discovering new spots where it's like you go on there and it's like, holy shit, where was this? And like you kind of discover new spots, or it forces you to kind of want to get out there more and discover your own new spots that like you think other people haven't seen.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, and Milwaukee can be, we shoot it all the time. When you live in Milwaukee or whatever city you live in, you shoot your city a lot. And it can get kind of old. And, we said we cruised to Chicago the other day, but it's nice to get to a new city and just like, it's like a breath of fresh air, taking it all in. I mean, what would you say besides outside of Milwaukee, what maybe not your favorite city, but, one of your favorite cities that you've been to and shot and,
All right, so for instance, you go down to Chicago or you go to New York. For me, I'm going to shoot and edit the photos completely different than if I were in a tropical city. So for instance, I was just in Miami a couple weeks ago. And when I went down there, you just get there, everything is so like bright and vivid, and it has this like real like just Cuban feel to it, like real old school,
it's amazing
real
city.
Like pastel type colors on a lot of the buildings. And it made me want to edit my photos a completely different way, where it's like I really wanted to highlight the colors of the building, like these pastel colors and whatnot. So it was just kind of like, I don't know, I think going to a different city kind of determines the way you're going to edit your photos, the way you're going to shoot your photos.
Yeah, I mean that happens with like, more than just definitely cities, but also I mean that's the same thing when you're shooting, you know, in the winter or shooting in fall. Like I love doing a lot of black and white, so like, and to me winter makes me depressed, so I'm not a fan of it. I don't think it's pretty. Sorry.
It's the fucking worst.
Yeah.
The snow was kind of pretty, but I mean, then it's just going to turn into shit after
like,
it's done.
Yeah, with snow stuff, it's like I always am just pulling colors out, like dropping the saturation a ton, because it's just like when I look at it, it's depressing, and that's the feel I get from that photo. So when I'm editing it, like that's kind of what I take in. So it's like this. I feel like the city, the time of year, night, day, you know, it just like kind of pulls at strings differently that you're editing that photo differently, and also like the feeling that you got from that trip.
Yeah, and I even feel like the other night when we were down in Chicago, I remember we were walking around shooting. We were just talking about how bright and how well lit everything is. Like we were by the Chicago theater, and from that, when I was editing these photos, I really boosted the colors in a lot of my photos and really like highlighted those bright, you know, saturated lights that were out there. So I feel like, you know, I get inspiration from being in a different city too, where it kind of determines how you're going to shoot and how you're going to edit your photos. You know?
Yeah, you were saying like you were editing these photos from Chicago, and you were kind of honing your craft, and you were going through some tutorials. Like, how often do you kind of like go through tutorials? Is that like a normal thing? Is it kind of here and there?
Going through tutorials like for Lightroom and stuff is. Sometimes I just do it when I need to, like, it's like, all right, I got to figure out how the fuck people are doing this. So you just go and you look it up and figure it out. And I do that a lot more with, like, Premiere and After Effects than I do Lightroom. Because Lightroom, I feel like I almost got... Lightroom's one of those things where it's like you kind of get set in your ways and you don't really change a lot. Where it's like when you're editing photos and you kind of develop a style and make your presets and whatnot, you're like... It just becomes clockwork to where you can just all right,
it's
do
kind
this.
of a bad habit.
Do this.
It's honestly, I feel like a bad habit.
Yeah, and I honestly last night when I was messing around, I almost wanted to delete all my presets. Yeah, and just like all right, let's kind of do a lot of these like more custom now and like But something I did last night in Lightroom was I think one of the tutorials I looked up was like it was along the lines of like things you might not know about Lightroom. I can kind of show you some of the stuff I was doing. But I was really trying to like bring out. Usually with my shooting, I tend to go dark, grungy, and I take colors out.
Yeah, I feel like this is definitely a new style for you.
Yeah,
your stuff normally is like, it's just a lot. Even though it's still dark, it's a lot brighter for you.
Vibrant, yeah.
Like you can see. You know what I mean? Like normally, I feel like all those uprights on yours would be kind of. Drowned out, and those shadows would be gone.
Normally I don't like, I probably wouldn't have had like this. I probably would have like, let's go down a little bit. This probably would have been turned down.
You would have turned the blues down.
Yeah, I would have turned those down. I don't know. I really, like I said, just being in a different city, it kind of just made me just start looking at it differently. This one, I don't think I was finished editing. But yeah,
any other photos you were kind of psyched on from?
Like this, I was going really heavy on like the oranges and the blues last night. And I was kind of just messing around. I really enjoyed like some of the stuff I was coming out with. Where is it? This is something I would never do, like with those shadows.
Oh, it would be all black, and it'd be probably white.
I literally, and I think I have it. This is what I would normally do.
Yep.
This is literally what I would. Every time I would do that, where it's like I take all the colors out, but I keep like one or two of them in. But I just had a lot of fun kind of messing around and kind of, you know, just making these a lot more vibrant than I normally would. Let's see what else.
What were, so the tutorial, like, what was kind of the biggest tip that you were like, holy fuck, I didn't know that I could even do that? Was there anything like that, or?
I was really messing around down here with the calibration of the cameras, so I didn't do it on this one. But this is something else I was messing around with last night, so let me pull up a picture, I think, where I kind of did it. I think I did do it on this one, so... But basically what I was doing was kind of creating like my own vignettes on these where, you know, you make one of these boxes, you drag that down a little bit, you turn that exposure down. But basically what I was doing is just kind of creating, like putting these on all four corners and just creating that little vignette to really make the center of this photo pop.
Is there any other things you kind of...
Yeah, I mean, I really was messing around with the curves too a lot, and that's something I like kind of normally would have done. But even on the train ride,
You were just kind of showing me, talking to me about this.
Yeah.
But I was really kind of messing with the curves a lot last night and really just kind of getting into the hue saturation luminance over here and really just like messing around. Like a lot of times I would really I'd mess with the saturation. I wouldn't do a lot of other stuff, but like I just had a lot of fun last night. Like
changing the colors a little bit,
getting that turquoise and orange look going.
Yep.
Even in this one, like just really boosting the reds and the blues.
You know, you got to always be watching the tutorials. You got to always be getting better at what you're doing. You can't ever stop learning, especially with like Adobe, the Adobe suite. If that's what you choose, it's always updating. They're adding new things in and out. So it's like, yeah, when there's a new tool, learning how to use it, and also just you might know a tool, but you might not know it. You don't know all its uses.
Something else that like last night, like I said, my style like can get very grungy and whatnot, and a lot of times I always like to like really turn the blacks down and like overexpose like the highlights and whatnot. But last night I was really focusing on just like cleaning up the picture a lot more and just making it very vivid.
Could you kind of swap from that to like your normal feel that you would normally do on that?
Yeah.
I mean, don't you have one right there?
Which one? This one?
No, like just one of these. Like.
So this is something like that I might do a little more. Where is it? We'll take this one for example. So like as you can see, it's just a lot grungier. Like the shadows are pretty hard. I don't know. It's just
I love that too.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I really like this one a lot. But there was something about this that I just loved. I don't know. It's not something that I would normally edit this way. I like.
Yeah, it looks super. It looks super cool, like super clear and.
Yeah, because people sell presets and whatnot, but those never work.
It doesn't work.
No, because it's meant for the way that they shoot their photos.
Yep. With their camera.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so funny how like just having a different, shooting with a different body or a different, different. It just turns out so much different. The settings are just.
So I would say just get out there and go watch some tutorials. Like after like just kind of messing around with those, like what I did last night, it's like if I were to go out shooting tonight, I would look for where a fluorescent light meets a tungsten, where so I could get that really blue and that really orange all in one picture. Like that would be my goal tonight if I were to go out and shoot. Right now is to try and find some vibrant lights.
Yep.
So it forces you to just like think differently. And even when I was editing those last night, I was like, damn, dude, I wish I would have gotten some other shots that like kind of fits with this editing style. It's like, since I didn't, I'm about to go out and go do it again and go actually do it with this purpose in mind.
Yeah.
You want some of this orange?
Funny you say that. I was just about to spin this off and talk about, new year, new me. You've kind of started up this whole new health kick.
I have.
Yeah, you've been pumping.
Been going strong.
You've been
for
pumping.
About 2
You've been
weeks
running.
now.
You've been running a little bit. You've been eating better.
And doing a little working out, a little running, a little swimming, a little eating healther.
Yeah. What's the reason? Like, what's kind of the reason behind you switching it up?
Fuck. I mean, well, one, I wanted to look better. I know I'm like one of the fucking prettiest motherfuckers you ever seen in your life, but I wanted to look a lot better. I wanted to feel better. I think like with what we do, we're constantly like, it's not just like a 9 to 5 where it's like you get in this routine, you got to get up at this time, then you get to go home, relax. Like we're always doing something.
Yeah, we're always working or doing
what time
something.
Is it right now? It's like 7 o'clock on a 6:15 on a Saturday night, and we're here. We got here at like 3 o'clock. Yeah. We'll probably be here for another 2 hours. Like there's always something to do, and I just felt myself just being drained. When I would get here in the morning, I would just be tired. All day. I'd get home, I wouldn't want to do anything really. I just like, we'd be working so long, I just would want to kick it.
Yeah.
So for me, I mean, doing all this, like I had one cheat day in the past 2 weeks, one cheat meal. I shouldn't even say a cheat day. And that was when we were in Chicago. We got that bomb ass chicken and fajitas.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just feel a lot better.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting all my nutrients. I'm working out 5 days a week. And I just feel a lot better. It helps with my creativity. It helps me putting thoughts together. It helps with coming up with different concepts. But yeah, this little health kick has been nice. I definitely think I'll be sticking to it just because
I'll make sure.
It's like part
I'll
of my
here.
You'll make sure.
Yeah,
it's part of my routine now. You know, I'm eating breakfast. I never really used to eat breakfast. Mm-hmm. And now I'm eating breakfast. Hard-boiled eggs and bananas usually with that little superfoods, little green mix. I'm getting all my greens. It's great. Who am I?
Yeah, we haven't eaten really today either. It's kind of took longer than we thought. So we're talking about food, and my mouth is watering. What's that?
You want some almonds? Have an almond.
I'll take an almond.
That's right.
Look at this guy. He's got almonds and oranges. I don't even know who this guy is anymore.
I haven't had a sip of soda. I think I've only had water and coffee and almond milk for the past week. Look at that.
Almonds.
Mm-hmm. We gotta log it in my fitness. Oh, this is also sponsored by My Fitness Pal app. Maybe log all your food. Almost forgot to give them a shout out.
Oh God, I'm dropping almonds. We're out all the time, so health is important. You know, I want to live.
Even when you're just sitting there, it might not seem like it, but when you're at a shoot and you're holding up a gimbal with a camera on it for a decent, like you obviously don't have to be super fucking jacked to be able to do that. But when you're sitting there for a while, it makes a difference of like your stamina of just sitting there holding the gimbal up. It really does.
What you know, we've been using gimbals a bunch now. What else? What other gear are you kind of like excited about, or you've been using a bunch, or?
To be honest, I never really messed around with. I used to have a wide angle a while ago. I had that for a couple years, and we have a 1018 right now. But I've been messing around with your fisheye lens a lot lately. That's just been so much fun for me.
Yeah, that lens is definitely extreme.
Yeah, it's very extreme, and it's obviously you can't use it for every situation. But if you're walking around the city or just trying to get a little creative or something, it's such a fun way to shoot.
Yeah.
My favorite has been like looking up with that thing, and just like a one shot. When we were in that Chase building the other day.
Yeah.
Just the fact that like you look up and then in the windows you see all the buildings surrounding that specific area. It's just, I don't know, it's so much fun. These almonds were a bad idea. My mouth is so dry. One thing I've actually really been enjoying getting into lately was like when you talk about nice equipment, I've been enjoying not using the gimbal lately.
Yeah. For a while we got him, and it was like everything we needed the gimbal.
Everything, every shot, we're panning on every shot, and it's just like, I don't know why, but I just really have been enjoying just hand holding lately with the cameras. There's just something about like not having that perfect smooth motion and there being a little bit of shake, like not shake, but just like a little bit of movement in there. It just feels so much realer. It's a lot easier to adjust.
Yeah.
You know, if you're trying to zoom in or out, it's a lot easier to do that. A lot easier to maneuver.
Yeah, I mean, I feel, you know, I had a blast talking to you, honestly. This was really fun.
I had a blast, too. It's been my favorite podcast I've ever been on.
One and only, but, I'll take it. Where can these people out here, where can they find your stuff, your pictures, anything you've done? I mean,
Instagram, go to StrictlyJermo. Go at StrictlyJermo. I just took an old account that I used to have and turned it into a selective color account. So that is at StrictlyColor, which reminds me I need to post on that tonight.
Yeah.
I haven't posted on there in a few days.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's funny, you weren't, he kind of fell off for a little bit, folks, and I kind of, lit a fire under his ass, and I was like, when are you going to post? And he like literally posts one, and all of a sudden I'm like, my feed is just filled with Strictly everything, and I'm just like, God damn it, I shouldn't have done that. Now I can't get away from it.
That's what Dre was saying today too. He like texted me, he was like, dude, all these fucking Strictly accounts, I don't know who the fuck is where to send stuff anymore. In all
honesty, it's great. I love seeing your photos. They're really good.
Yeah, there, and then you can find both our stuff at social media on Instagram, the most gangster Instagram handle ever for a marketing agency. Social Candy, we're Social Candy on Facebook. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
Awesome, man. Thanks for being on my show. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Jeff. It was a blast.
Anytime.
Nice.
Later, guys. Thanks for listening to this show.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I just gotta go off on it. I just know to put the sauce on it. I don't care about the cost on it. I just gotta get lost on it. I'm just trying to break loose. I'm about to light the fuse. I just need me a cup. I'ma pour me the juice. I got the juice now. I got the juice now. I got the juice now. I got the juice. I got the juice now. I got the juice now.